on getting your megacities freed from the tight tyrannical grip of Charmated infestation. Today's intro is Those Who Ride the Flame by Rogan Ravenheart, which you would assume at first glance to mean the Helldivers, but nope, it's actually the Predator strain. At least, after I got done with them, they were. Yes, indeed, I am one of those deranged individuals who prefers CQC with the Predators. The way I figure it, they're always going to try to get in close, so a good counter to that is making sure that they walk over 20 miles of burning napalm on the way to try to get me. Feeling that, Punisher with duckbill, right to the face. 10 out of 10, no notes. Do my fist units perish somewhat more often than if I tried to keep my distance? Yes, absolutely. But there are just as many times where I am blessed with some hidden X factor, presumably Democracy's Light, where I'm able to lay down crescents of napalm, burn any who approach my team, and maintain a perimeter to keep everyone safe. Just last night, I personally believe that I, myself, was responsible for my team succeeding in our mission. I think I had like 500 kills? Somewhere around there? I don't know. And if a Charger or Bile Titan appears, that's what thermite grenades are for. And if God had wanted them to live, he would not have created the RCS system. But, my fervent xenophobia aside, yeah, you tangle with the Predator strain for upwards of a week and see how much you appreciate this species of scarcely sentient acidic blenders. The morning news. As I mentioned before, Alta V looks to be given a clean bill of health around noon, Super Earth Eastern Standard Democratic Time today, and this will open the door to stab into the hearts of the Orion Celeste sectors. Not to mention complete the major order with every last box ticked. On the Orion side, we have Veld, a lush jungle planet sporting Malevelon Creek's famed blue dabba-dee-dabba-die natural lighting scheme, but it also has the Predator strain camping out on the front porch in a lawn chair. But it does also feature a particularly low decay rate of 0.56%. Within Celeste, Slif features garden variety bugs, but it's also a water planet literally made of acid. And then finally we come to Krakatwo, which is a frigid wasteland world with normal bugs. If I had to guess, I'd have to say that the DSS would be heading to Krakatwo next to allow the bug divers to take full advantage of the favorable conditions found there. The subsequent Nublaria 1 looks like a fluffing nightmare, though. Swamp with Predator strain and a hefty decay rate to boot. This is going to be a long siege, and these swamp roads tend to get us mired like space Verdun if we're not careful, war crimes included. Fortunately, there has been no further movement from within the automaton excessively militarized zone or the Illuminate Death Frontier. Not that our democratically impaired foes are resting on their laurels, we just can't see what evil they're cooking up. And it is going to be our job to collapse their atrocity souffle. However, things on Gunvald have finally reached a tipping point. What began as a protest outside the presidential tower by the Path of Progress movement quickly turned into a riot. Last I heard, the tower's perimeter defenses have been breached and the riot is inside. Not so much as a sweeping clear operation as a violent brawl. To make matters worse, the Gunvald army has chosen the side of the rival government, calling themselves the Three Parties Army. They have abandoned the president and look to be gearing up for a full-blown civil war. Unfortunately, this forces my paw. As Minister of Truth, I cannot allow this affront to democracy to go unanswered. I've already forwarded all gathered intelligence on Gunvald's situation to the Ministry of Defense and have given the green light for Helldiver forces to drop on the planet and bring this revolt to a swift conclusion. So, what does all of that mean? Well, those Helldivers and the unmarked destroyers that I was talking about a few days ago, they're probably already on planet. And unsecured data nets are having mercy problems. The goal here is to neutralize enemy resistance without causing undue casualties and infrastructural damage. My binary buddy is simply going to shut you down and not allow you to fight us, Gunvald. Do not make the mistake of thinking that this is a debate. A collaborator helped install some back doors a few months ago when I heard that you were developing NBC weapons, so... Sorry. I wish this could have gone another way, but considering how you worded your most recent broadcast, I don't even know if you're still alive to hear my apology. This'll all be over soon. In other news, which feels almost inconsequential compared to the fact that the super-Earth armed forces are being deployed on Gunvald to help quell civil unrest. Fauna sapiens have joined the vertextual conventional forces for the first time, but due to lack of equipment accommodating our unusual biology, they have been relegated to non-combat roles, which I do suppose is fair. Now, someone like me, I normally don't require any kind of specialized helmet for my ears. I can still hear just fine with them folded flat against my head. And I can modify a pair of pants with my claws in just a few minutes to allow for my tail. But something like a Vog-Sojoth? Yeah, he is going to need some specialized armor. To put it in proper context, Vog-Sojoth's affinity faunus, or Minotaur bullmen, to phrase it for the layperson, are giants. They can be 6, 8, 10 feet tall, and weigh upwards of 1,500 pounds of solid muscle. They're strong enough to brawl with an automaton Hulk, and they're probably gonna win by ripping its arms off and beating the metallic monkey fluffer to death with them. Then there are Ophiophagus affinity faunus. King cobras, believe it or not, more common than you think. A single bite can reduce a terminate hunter to a twitching mess on the floor as their insides turn into liquid poopy. But if they so much as brush their teeth and spit into a sink, that is often enough to turn that bathroom into a biohazard contaminant zone, so some care does need to be taken. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pandera the Radio Angel. We're due to finish up on the major order a day ahead of schedule, which is great. But it is very unlikely that Gunvald will remain independent for much longer unless they think of something very, very quickly, which is not so great. Personally, I would love it if they got their act together and they sent us packing. I still believe in them. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.